It was a strange find, tucked away in the far corner of an old antique shop I'd never noticed before. The mirror was huge, at least 6 feet tall, with a dark, ornate frame carved with twisting vines and strange symbols that almost seemed to move if you looked too closely. The glass itself was strangely dim, as though something was clouding it from behind. The shopkeeper warned me. "That mirror's been returned 3 times, he said, his voice low and hesitant. "Customers say it reflects things that shouldn't be there." I laughed it off. Old mirrors always had a strange aura. And besides, I loved things with a history, especially if they were a little creepy. So, I bought it. The first night, I hung it in my bedroom. I couldn't stop looking at it, feeling almost hypnotized by the murky glass and the frame's twisted patterns. But as I was drifting to sleep, I thought I saw something strange out of the corner of my eye, a faint shadow in the mirror. I glanced back, expecting it to be my own reflection. But the mirror was dark, and I couldn't see myself in it. Just a faint, unmoving silhouette in the distance, like someone standing in the shadows far behind the glass. I brushed it off, thinking it was a trick of the light, and went to sleep. The next night, the mirror seemed darker. The shadow was still there, but closer, almost as if it had stepped forward, watching me from just beyond the glass. The longer I stared, the more I felt an odd pull, a whisper at the back of my mind telling me to get closer. But I didn't listen. But every night after that, the shadow moved closer. By the 5th night, it was clear. I could make out a face, a hollow, pale face with deep-set eyes that seemed to stare straight through me. I tried moving the mirror to another room, hoping it was just my imagination. But even in the hallway, when I passed by it in the dark, I could feel that figure waiting. One night, I decided to record it. I set up a camera, aimed directly at the mirror, hoping to catch whatever was hiding in the glass. I went to bed, heart pounding, and left the camera running. When I checked the footage the next morning, at first, there was nothing. Just me walking out of frame and going to bed. But then, around 3 a.m., something changed. The mirror's glass seemed to ripple, like water, and then it appeared. First a shadow, then that face again, peering from behind the glass. But this time it didn't stay in the mirror. I watched, horrified, as the figure leaned closer, pressing a hand against the glass. A pale, clawed hand. Then slowly, it reached through, like the mirror was made of liquid. Its hand touched the floor of my room, pulling the rest of its body out. First its head, then its shoulders, dragging itself out of the mirror and standing in my bedroom. The creature's face was hollow and twisted, its eyes sunken, black pits that glared down at me in bed. It walked closer, step by slow step, until it was standing over me, watching as I slept. Then it bent down, its empty eyes right next to my face, and smiled. I had to turn off the video. I felt sick, my heart racing as I realized that whatever this thing was, it had been there, right next to me while I slept. That night, I tried covering the mirror with a blanket, but when I woke up, the blanket was on the floor and the shadow was back, closer than ever. I was too scared to sleep, watching as that thing inched closer and closer, almost pressing against the glass. The last night, I finally decided to destroy it. I grabbed a hammer, marched up to the mirror, and smashed it as hard as I could. The glass cracked, splitting into a web of sharp lines. But instead of shattering, the glass rippled again, and a cold, heavy hand reached out, grabbing my wrist with an iron grip. I struggled, but it pulled me closer, the glass warping, dragging me toward it like a vortex. I screamed, but it didn't matter. The last thing I saw was that hollow face, grinning as it yanked me through the mirror. The next morning, someone found the mirror left outside the shop. It looked normal. No cracks, no signs of the struggle. Just a faint, shadowy outline in the glass, like someone reaching out. The shopkeeper took it back, but a week later he noticed something odd. The mirror's glass was darker than before, and if you stared long enough, you'd see a face. A face with wide, terrified eyes, trapped behind the glass. And now, it's waiting for the next person to buy it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. It really helps us out. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Tap the bell to stay notified whenever we post a new video. Thanks again, and see you in the next one.